Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. I just want to say a major thank you to everyone that's been supporting this channel, liking the videos, sharing the videos, commenting under the videos. I just want to say thank you so much for showing the love. I know that 2021 has so much in store for you guys. I am so excited to share with you guys some new content, new guests, new conversations. So just stay tuned for more. Welcome back to One of One, guys. This is me, Miranda, and today I am joined by a very special guest, a very funny one at that. EMO, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. Great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. Now, I was watching some of your interviews, and you were saying that you were like a class clown when you were younger.
Yeah, I didn't dub myself that, but kids can be so cruel. Yeah, I was the class clown. Yeah, like I always had something to say.
Yeah. So then, when did you make that decision to be like, you know what? Yes, I am a class clown, but let me pursue comedy. Like, when did you make that realization and make that decision to be like, you know what? I might be funny. Let me actually try it out and see where this takes me.
It all happened so fast, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I remember my childhood friend Joe White.
Yeah.
Had started pursuing comedy, and he was attempting to get me to come and watch to start with, but he had a motive there. He wanted me to get into comedy with him.
Yeah.
And for the longest, I was just ignoring him to the point where I was screening his phone calls and not picking up. So he's trying to get me to do it for a while, and then I finally agreed to come one day.
Yeah.
I watched him do it, and it looked exciting.
Yeah, and you were inspired by that.
Yeah, and I had been giving out free jokes, like
free jokes.
Yeah, free jokes for the better part of my life. So,
yeah.
So he had called me to do a podcast just like this here, but a Facebook live stream.
Yeah.
And he put me on the spot.
Yeah.
So when can we expect to see you on stage? I was like, 3 months. And because I had vocalized it on to the universe,
yeah,
I had to follow through on it.
Yeah, people are expecting. Yeah. They're like, hey, you said 3 months.
Yeah. So he gave me a number, and I contacted this place called Shapiro's, where most comics in Perth start off. Mm-hmm. And I had my first set.
Wow.
And it was great. Like I'm not trying to like talk myself up, but like my first set really went really well.
Yeah.
And
From then on, it was.
I got the bug. Yeah, I got the bug.
Wow.
It's just a matter of figuring out how to book your own shows and stuff like that. But
yeah,
that was the beginning of it.
That's good. And I've heard a few comedians say that sometimes when they're doing stand-up, once they get that first laugh, that's when they're good. They're like, you know what? Once I get that, it's like that adrenaline. They get that like motivation.
Yeah.
But have you ever had moments where you've gotten the opposite reaction on your first line, and maybe you don't get that same reaction that you're expecting?
Every comics would say that I've never bombed before. No, that's a lie. It's happened to everyone.
Yeah. And what do you do in those moments, though?
You just got to read the room.
Yeah.
Every room is different.
Yeah.
You may, like, say, for example, you may do the comedy lounge Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah.
Have a great set on Friday.
Yeah.
Saturday might not go so well.
Yeah.
You just got to read the room. Like, just because your jokes worked yesterday does not mean it works today. Because you might have, say, for example, last night you might have had predominantly the crowd was young people.
Yeah.
So all those jokes worked perfectly.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow night you might have 60% senior citizens.
Yeah.
So you got to read the room.
Yeah. And how do you make sure that stuff doesn't get to you? Like, how do you make sure that it doesn't discourage you, like, because you didn't get that reaction, or you didn't feel like you might have one night that, you know, you give it your best, and then you're like, oh, I didn't really get, like, the same, you know, that I was expecting. How do you keep going and being like, you know, it doesn't mean I suck. Yeah. It doesn't mean that I'm bad at it. How do you get yourself to keep moving forward?
Well, one thing that I've actually learned to accept is if a set doesn't go well for you, it's because of you. Like, you can't blame the room. You got to learn to read the room.
Right.
If a joke doesn't work, you need to be able to learn to flip it.
Yeah.
If material's not working, then you got to do some crowd work.
Yeah.
You got to get them engaged. Like, make them think with you. Invite them on this set that you're having with them. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And then at least they're more attentive.
Yes.
And they're part of the show now as well.
Oh, so, nice. Now, what was the dream before comedy? Was there anything else that you wanted to be or to do beforehand? And also, would you say that you have a backup plan? Like, oh, if this doesn't go the way that I think it will, I'll do this. Or are you investing everything into like comedy and you have that faith, like, you know, I know it's going to go somewhere?
So that's the second part.
Yeah.
I am 110% invested in comedy.
Love it.
I don't think there is any chance that this may not work out.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. So giving my work ethic and my work drive.
Yeah.
I think I am, like, with my trajectory that I'm going at the moment. I'm on my way.
Yeah.
As far as what was it before comedy?
Yeah.
I had just been doing odd jobs my whole entire life. Like, I started working when I was 14 years old. Like, my first job was on a tomato farm. Picking tomatoes with my mother.
Yeah.
And then,
oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and then my first official job was McDonald's. So I worked as a fry cook in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I just did a whole bunch of labouring jobs.
Yeah.
The longest job I ever had was working for Coles Group at the international airport.
Yeah.
And I knew that was not for me. But at the same time, I just didn't know where I was going, what direction I was going in life.
Yeah.
But I always knew that I'm like, where to now? I'll always woke up upset because I felt unfulfilled.
Yeah.
I had no plan B, and I knew I couldn't do labouring for the rest of my life because I'm allergic to sweating. So yeah, it was great that I actually found something that fits me. It works with my sleeping routine. And,
oh, that one sent me. That one caught me off guard. Now, you've done a lot of shows.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a great sign, and it's clear that you're very consistent.
Yeah.
You know, and you have that drive.
Yeah.
Which is very important whether pursuing comedy or any kind of dream that you have. How do you stay consistent? Because obviously sometimes when you're doing something that you love, you might find yourself in moments where you're kind of like slacking, and maybe you're kind of having a down moment where you don't have the same motivation every single day to just, you know, be on that high. So how do you stay consistent?
How do I stay consistent? Well, the first way I actually started taking comedy a little bit more serious is when I started putting my own shows on, like showcases.
Yeah.
Where I'd have a whole bunch of different comics.
Right.
I'd have like Jason Woods, Jesse Corset, Joe White. I would just have all the best comedians, and I would line it up where I would have a show a week.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just about me no more, because there was other people that was counting on the shows as well, including comedy fans and whoever was coming out to watch.
Yeah.
So I always had to make sure that it was executed properly.
Yeah.
I still make sure that I execute it properly, but it's just less about me, but it's also my journey as well. But I take everyone on it, so yeah.
I love that. And you just mentioning that you would have your own shows where you have other comedians coming, that kind of support is very rare sometimes when it comes to like, you know, especially when you look at, say, the comedy industry. Sometimes it can be competitive, I think. Sure. And the fact that you just didn't make it all about you, but you created a platform for other people. How important is support for other people? Because one thing that I have noticed is that, say like for example in Perth, where certain things like entertainment, it's not very common, especially for people of color. It's very hard sometimes to see people of color supporting other people of color. Because there's that competition of like, I want to be the only one. That's the greatest at this or that. So how important is it to have support for other people's craft?
Well, that crab in a bucket mentality is one that I tend to avoid. Anybody that knows me knows that I like working with other people. And it's not always just about me. But like, not to be mistaken though, like I started putting on shows because I wasn't getting an opportunity to MC and headline. So this was my chance to actually start headlining and MCing my own shows. Right. But also I brought those other comedians on that journey as well. So which gave them stage time and also like more opportunities as well. I have tried to target the African market, and I have broken into it as well. But like you don't pick your fan base. You know what I mean? Like like 60% of my audience members are probably white. They give me that white money.
Now, do you find it hard sometimes for people to take you seriously as a comedian? Or do you feel like it's easy for you to transition from like comedian, then dad or friend or brother? Or do you think sometimes it's really hard for people around you to take you seriously?
Well, to be honest with you, man, like, you know when I'm being serious, my tone changes. My tone changes. And also like I can talk with a smile on my face and be serious at the same time as well. You know what I mean? But you can always tell when I'm being serious. Like even with my kids, when I'm like parenting and like whatever, like they get a look.
Yeah.
And they know.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh shit, am I allowed to curse?
Yes. Come on.
Yeah, so like that just means less ass whoopings now.
Yeah.
Because you got a look now, so
Yes.
they're ready. Like, you know what I mean? You don't have to punish them any more than that fear. You already get them with the look.
Yeah.
And that's the same with like someone crosses my T, like yeah, like yeah, you know when I'm upset anyway.
Yeah.
You know when I'm serious, you know when I'm jolly, you know when I'm friendly, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
yeah.
Now, we've spoken previously about like the comedic industry being very like competitive and things like that, and you know sometimes you can't really guarantee like a career in it.
Yeah.
As well, just like even music as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a very competitive industry.
Yeah.
And you know so many people give up because they're like, I don't really see myself going where I thought I would when I first started.
Yeah.
And you know those doubts can get in your head sometimes.
For sure.
Even you can get around maybe specific people that'll be like, you're doing comedy? Like, is that what you want to do
The
in the future?
naysayers, yeah.
Yeah, and even music. People can tell you, like, you really think you're going to make something of yourself just doing music and things like that?
Yeah.
And as a person with dreams and aspirations, sometimes those doubts start to kick in.
Yeah.
And those fears of, like, failure and things like that. So for you, I want to know, because I don't know if you've ever had moments of doubts or fear or failure or anything like that. And when you do have those things, how do you break them? How do you break them and stay grounded?
Well, one person's doubt is not my destiny, you know what I mean? So
Ooh.
just because you doubt that this is possible, that's your little mind thinking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we on two different thought patterns then, I guess.
Yeah.
And like you're wrong to even let that affect you, because one, it's not their journey, it's your journey.
Yeah.
Only you know yourself.
Right.
You know your work drive. You got your own faith. You got to back yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, like I don't care too much for the naysayers. Like, to be honest with you, like with my shows that I run as well.
Yeah.
Like that is my full-time job.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I do spots.
Yeah.
Like, so like festivals are good because when festivals come, you clean up then.
Yeah.
But like with those weekly shows, like that's my full-time job. So
Yeah.
like, I'm committed and like
And I love that.
yeah, and
Yeah.
you only get better through execution. So,
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of if you're gonna get there, it's when.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And I love that. Like even from like your whole aura, you're very confident in yourself. And like I want to ask you, especially when you think about, you know, a lot of the youth.
Yeah.
Some people have, you know, dreams that are outside of the typical like
Yeah.
doctor, lawyer,
yeah.
this and this. And they have those dreams and they know they can do it.
Yeah.
But sometimes maybe their confidence is not as high. Like say for example, someone like you, what would be your advice to young people that are like, yo, I'm inspired that EMO is just going. Like he knows that he's gonna make it, and
Yeah.
he gives his all like into what he's doing. When people want to kind of pursue their own passions and stuff, what would be your advice to people that may find themselves just kind of having that fear of like, I don't know if I have the right confidence to go
Yeah.
with this, but I really love it. It's my passion.
Yeah. Just because it hasn't been done before by someone that you know does not mean it's impossible.
Exactly.
So you just gotta have faith in yourself.
Right.
And also hard work always pays off. Hard
Yes.
work always beats talent.
Yes.
So like don't feel that I'm not talented enough to do it.
Yeah.
You can seek and actually obtain what it is that you're looking for. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
just like there's a university degree for being a doctor or a nurse or whatever it is that people study.
Mhm.
There's also comedy as well. Like there is no university degree on how to do this.
Yeah.
Everything that I learned was through other people that are doing it, or just through random researches on my own.
Yeah.
So anything's online nowadays. I mean, like
That's true.
You can learn to be a DJ on YouTube. I mean,
Facts.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have to get S&E like to learn filming. Cameras come with come with a full manual.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because you don't have that diploma or whatever it is, that does not mean that you're not qualified for it. It's just
Yes.
it helps. But in terms of comedy and entertainment, like to be honest with you, if it's been done before, it can be done again.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if someone like you name anyone that you look up to, like your best singer or your favorite actor or whatever,
Yeah.
they all started off somewhere with a little bit of doubt.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
that's
mean?
true.
And they had the faith because someone else has already done it before as well.
Exactly.
And it's just a matter of you just making sure that you maintain that faith on your own as well, because if you don't believe in yourself, who will?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I just love what you just mentioned about, sometimes you don't have to go and get a diploma or whatever to pursue what you love doing. And I can definitely like testify to that, because even when I started, I didn't have the gear for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because normally you see people mentioning all these big cameras and like expensive things and whatever. But what I knew is that I had the passion.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And I think like that's what you're saying. You're telling people that, hey, you don't have to have everything to make your dream come true or to make it work.
Of course
Just use what you got right now. As long as you have the passion, you can go on YouTube.
Yeah.
You can master something.
And people get lost in the fact that it all seems overwhelming that when you're doing entertainment stuff, say for example you got your interviews and when you're performing, how you're supposed to stand or whatever, like you just gotta deconstruct it. You know what I mean? So you just work on the material. People ask, do you get nervous when you get interviewed? No, like you start with the small podcasts, and you got the TV interviews, like you just build yourself, like you just slowly progress with time. Like just like it takes 4 years to get a university degree, it can take you 4 years to figure out how to become a stand-up comedian. You know what I mean? Like,
I love that. Yeah.
So that's your degree. Like you just learn until you can actually start making the money.
Yeah. That's very important. Now, one thing that I came across that just made me just like have so much respect for you, I was looking through Facebook and I came across this video of you giving back on Christmas last year.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you don't see it often. Especially when people are like at the peak of their like career and like successful. Sometimes you don't see that. And just you giving back to the community, like that was just beautiful to see. And you giving gifts to the homeless people, and I was just kind of like, and you could tell it wasn't like a like a social media driven thing. It wasn't about like, I want you to see that I'm doing this. It was genuine. I could see that you were actually enjoying
for sure.
giving back. Why is it so important for you to give back to the community?
What a lot of people don't realize is this is not the first time I've done it. I've been doing this since before I started doing comedy. Like the first time I ever did it with this other girl, her name's Claire, and we went out on Christmas Eve, and we had Christmas cards, and we put like a $10 note. It was up to them how they spend their money. I don't care if you spend it on booze, it's your Christmas, right? So
that is beautiful.
So we just went out and we were looking for homeless people, but what we didn't know was on Christmas Eve, that's like the one time a year where the government kind of feels like they're doing something. So they put them into shelters and stuff, and they feed them.
Why not do that every day? Why wait?
So it's hard to find homeless people on Christmas Eve. So we're walking around for damn near 6 hours in the city, like just walking around Wellington Park. Went to where the McDonald's is in Northbridge, and there was no homeless
nobody
people inside. I was so confused. I was like, what the? We started. I think we started like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We finished at like 9. And we were at Wellington Park. I remember this vividly as well. Walking through Wellington Park, and we finally found some homeless people. And some police officers were riding the SUV on the actual park. Because they patrol it. And they came up to us and they're like, we probably would suggest that you don't walk across this park at night time because it's quite dangerous. And then we told them what we're doing, and they end up walking around with us a little bit.
That is beautiful.
And then we had some leftover cards with some money as well. So we gave it to them and told them to donate it to a charity of their choice. So that was the end of that one. But that wasn't the first time I've done it. Like
it's just that the other times it wasn't like filmed or something. But like, your heart has always been.
Like
that is beautiful.
Because I'm privileged to be in a position where I came from a refugee camp. And then to be in a country where someone should already be better off than I am, but not. I always feel like because I was privileged enough to be in the position where I can give, that I should give.
That's beautiful.
I encourage my kids to do that as well. Like there'll be times where I've been sitting with my daughter and she'll be like, "Oh, daddy, oh," and my daughter told her she's a grown ass woman. I give her some coins, I'm like, go on.
No, I love that because I feel like, for me, when I compare back home and here, I would say like in the Western society, it's very common to be all about I. Me. Whereas back home, it's about us. You know what I mean? Like from where I grew up, like Zimbabwe.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice.
You wouldn't and I kind of came here when things were really getting bad, so we were blessed to like make it here. But even when you think about it, I remember me and my sister were talking, we're like, it's so interesting because back home you wouldn't know of a family that's starving.
Yeah.
Everyone knows each other. And we used to share. Like, if you want a cup of sugar, you know who's out to go to.
Cup of rice.
Cup of rice.
Yeah.
It was all about that, like, family element, if you think about it.
You couldn't have a full stomach while your neighbor starves.
That's I was like, you don't even know your neighbor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's so many things to consider because, for us, we'll try and be like, hello, but then they're also like, you got to do it like racism. People don't really like you because you're black. So then it's like, it's hard for you to reach out to your neighbor.
Yeah.
And it was such a different situation from back home, and that's why I respected what you're doing because you're stepping outside of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're realizing, hey, there are a lot of people who like the little I have is more for them.
Yeah.
Do you know
absolutely.
what I mean? Yeah. And that's why I really respect that. And you saying that you want to implement that into your kids as well. Like, hey,
for sure,
life is not just about you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's about other people. You know
For
what
sure.
I mean? I respect that.
Thank you.
Now I want to go on a statement that you wrote on Twitter. Where you said, they say get in where you fit in, and you said, nah, choose where you want to fit in and master that.
Yes.
Is that like the way that you view success, like the way that you view life when it comes to success? Because I feel like that's a very powerful thing to say.
Yeah, like I will not be pigeonholed on where I'm supposed to be. Like, even with this compass here, like that has a meaning for me. Like I choose my own direction. You know what I mean? Like don't settle for what it is that you people genuinely say that. Oh, you know what? We approve of you being here. No. You know what? Thank you for the invite, but I'd actually rather be right here.
Yeah.
So like make your own footpaths and in short terms, indent your feet in the cement before it dries.
Yeah.
So
what that made me think of was like normally, say for example with what can I say, media. There are some people that know that they're passionate about media. You know what I mean? They know like I love doing this.
Yeah.
But then sometimes, especially say if you look at like the work field, people will be like, well, what qualifications do you have?
Yeah.
Like what degree do you have?
Yeah.
And that's why I love.
Make you laugh.
I can make you laugh. And that's why I love that statement because I was like, normally people feel like they have to accomplish all of these other things before they can finally eventually get there.
Yeah.
And you just saying that, no, it's not about, you having all the qualifications or whatever. You figure out what you want to do and you master it. And I feel like that was very powerful.
Yeah, for sure.
I really love that.
Thank you. You done your research.
I was looking around, you know what I mean? Now I want to know about emotainment. Tell me about that. How did it start? What was the inspiration behind it? What is it all about?
Yes, so Emotainment is my production company, which was established, I think, about 8 months into me starting stand-up, doing my first ever Fringe split show with Joe White.
Wow.
And what that was what I mentioned earlier. It was my showcase shows. It was my production company in which I could showcase shows which were also my own shows, but also I could have other artists on my platform as well.
Yeah.
And through the first shows that we did, which was in Bellas, called Laughters in Bellas, we have since done like, I think, I don't have a number on it, but we've done many shows like all around Perth, like places like Cabinet Noir, the Fade Doctor, which is a barber shop. Cabinet Noir is a clothing store. I've done 2 years in a row at the Midnight Club, but my new venue now is at Palace Cinema because obviously with growth comes more attendance. So I needed a bigger venue with more dates as well. So that's Emotainment in short terms. Like I do all my production companies in there. It's pretty much
that.
Yeah, it's just an entertainment company that it's Emo's entertainment for you.
Yes, I love that. That drive, I really respect that. And I want to ask you, because sometimes I think for people of color, sometimes we think that our color holds us back, right? In the community, in standing out, doing great things. I feel like sometimes some of our people limit themselves because they're like, it's Australia, it's full of a bunch of white people. Like, is there even a place for me to do this?
It's one thing to acknowledge that we are held back because of our color, but it's another to let that be the reason why you're not moving forward.
Yes.
Like, you cannot limit yourself to your progression because of your limitations. Like so I break down any walls that I need to.
I love that.
Yeah. I know that I like if it was in preference of someone that maybe they would choose like a more Caucasian because they're easier to market to their database or whatever.
Yeah.
But I've started noticing because of my shows now.
Yeah.
When they do come to my shows, that they find that you can market me. So
yeah,
and my ticket sales do reflect that. So
yeah, I love that because sometimes I think people of color in some instances they think like this community is just built against me.
Yeah.
And like you having your own production company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You didn't think about, oh, but I'm black though. Should I really? You just said, I can do it.
You know what? If you're not going to do it for me, I'll do it for myself.
Exactly. That mentality. If you're not going to do it for me, I'm going to do it for myself.
Yeah.
Now, I want to know, because obviously it doesn't mean that you haven't gone through like adversity.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you haven't gone through racism or things like that. But how do you make sure that this is not going to limit me? This is not going to like make me, go in a show and be like, oh, I'm not going to. Because I feel like normally what I notice is that some Africans, they have aspirations. They have really great aspirations. But it's just a thing of like, I just don't know if Australia is the place that I can make a name for myself. So then they stick to things that are like...
Where is that? Like if it's not here, and even back home, if it's not that, it's tribal.
Yeah.
It's like it's tribal. Like it'll be like this person will get the office job because
exactly.
So like you've got to create, like it's gonna happen everywhere in life.
Yeah.
You've got to create your own opportunities if you're not getting the opportunity, and and if you don't, then just remember when life passes you by.
Yeah.
And you're at the bitter age of 50 or whatever it is that you're at.
Yeah.
And you look at yourself in the mirror, just remember you chose not to jump.
Ooh.
Yeah. So why have that regret later on when you can actually just scratch your head? You can.
You should be like on a TED Talk. And like speaking of like self-limiting beliefs, I think that's just something I've come across a lot when I see other young Africans that are trying to do something for themselves.
Yeah.
And just seeing you like pursuing your goals and your dreams and everything. And I just want to know, what are some of the steps that you take, or what are some of the things that you've done over the course of your life to break those self-limiting beliefs?
Well, from the better part of my life, to be honest with you, everything I've ever wanted, I've got.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, even as small as, like, I wanted a convertible from a young age as a kid, you know what I mean? And I seeked and I got it. Like, through hard work. I don't have it no more because my friend crashed it. But,
Friends.
Rest in peace, Hamza. But, everything I've ever wanted. Like, my mom didn't want me to have braids. I convinced her that I was not going to be a dropkick with braids, you know what I mean? Like, I let her know that I could have braids and also be an intelligent and respectable son.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wanted to have my ears pierced. Like, I'm talking about little small goals, you know what I mean? Like, everything I've ever wanted, I always got.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I wanted to move out, I moved out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wanted my own place, I got my own place. I wanted a full-time job where I could earn, like, up to $1,200 a week, I got it. You know what I mean? Like, everything I ever wanted, I got.
Wow.
Like, so, like, I can't be limited by what it is that I'm supposed to do when I know what it is that I want to do. Like,
wow.
Yeah.
It's clear that fear doesn't...
No.
It doesn't, like, have any place in, like, your life.
No. Like,
is that how you've always been? Or is there, like, something in your personality or something?
I just feel like if you can dream it, you can do it. Like, like, if you can think it, it's possible. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Wow.
Everything's possible. Like, it's just if you deconstruct everything, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you look at comedy as a whole, like, you think of like this full room of people. You're like, oh man, how am I gonna make this 100 people laugh? Like, nah, man, make 80 of them laugh.
Yeah.
Like,
wow.
Don't think that your comedy is for everybody.
Yeah.
So like that, just relieving yourself of that pressure of thinking that you can make everyone happy.
Yeah.
Don't.
Wow.
Because otherwise they're just sheep.
Yeah.
You're not performing in front of sheep. You're performing to individual people.
Yeah.
That have their own like mindset. You know what I mean? So that also means that when you're performing, right, they're not going to agree with you all the time.
Exactly.
So just be happy that just be happy that you got some of them happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And speaking of people not always agreeing with you all the time, one thing that I was learning about is, just kind of sometimes the attacks that come towards comedians, especially when it comes to like sensitive social issues.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I remember I was watching, I don't know who it was, if it was Cat Williams or Eddie Griffin.
Not Dave?
I think it was one of those people. And he was just saying, because he was talking to other comedians, he was talking about like filtering yourself.
Yeah.
And he was saying, it's just very like silly how, comedians kind of have to filter themselves.
Yeah.
Because we live in a very sensitive world now where like it's just a joke, but people would take it so far and be like, oh, you're homophobic. Oh, you're racist. Oh, you're this. You know what I mean?
It's getting really bad right now. And this is just a warning for those that are like extra sensitive.
Yeah.
It's going to get to a point where you're going to get what you want. And from certain comedians, you're not going to get that from me, because I'm always going to vocalize how it is that I want to speak.
Yeah.
But you are going to get that one day where it is that people are going to start censoring themselves.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be you that's going to say that was boring.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be you that thinks it's boring, but you've muffled this comedian now, so he can't even talk about these touchy subjects.
Yeah.
Because you have made it impossible for the person sitting next to them to laugh about it, because now they feel guilty.
Yes. Because that's what I wanted to... That's what I wanted to ask you. It's like, do you feel that pressure sometimes to filter yourself when you're doing your stand-ups? How do you do then with people being like, oh, don't say that?
I'm a firm believer knowing that everything that I say comes from a good place.
Right.
Like, there's nothing malice about anything that I say. And everything that I say is either factual or is already on public record. I mean, so, like, it's not... I didn't say do this. Like, I'm just a voice that says... don't shoot the messenger.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Just the voice that delivers the message that I have read up on.
Yeah.
That is factual information that's out there already.
Yeah.
Like, this may not be for you, and that's fine. Thank you for buying your ticket, and I can't refund your money.
Can't give it back.
But thank you for coming. I'll see you next year.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Like you get some people that just got too much time on their hands.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They do.
Like, what to do? Let's talk. You know what I mean? Like, they've got too much time on their hands. Like say for example, those people when you put up a post and you're like, what do you think about this? Like, you get people's view. Yeah. And then someone put it down at the bottom. They're like, don't really give a fuck. Well, wasn't talking to you.
Period.
So if you weren't going to answer the question, just don't answer.
Just don't. Yeah, exactly.
And while you're at it, just unfriend yourself. Because,
go somewhere else.
My page is not for you. Yeah.
And speaking of that, though, how do you deal with negative feedback? Have you ever had like negative feedback over a show or something? How do you deal with that?
Like I said, my show is not for everyone.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Like, there was a show description. It tells you what the show is about.
Yeah.
You should have read up on it a little bit more.
Yeah.
If I came as a surprise to you, just go back and read the show description.
Yeah.
I did let you know what the show was about.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not here to please everyone.
Yeah.
I'm not here to please everyone.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm just here to please the few.
Exactly.
So those that enjoyed my show will be back next year.
Yeah.
If you didn't enjoy the show, I'm probably not going to remember your face anyway.
But I love the fact that you pretty much saying that just focus on the stuff that's good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're going to get negative feedback.
Oh,
but
100%.
just, emphasize on the ones that loved it.
Yeah.
The ones that had the time of their lives.
Yeah.
And that's going to be like your motivation to keep going.
If you go to a restaurant, right?
Yeah.
Someone's told you this restaurant's amazing.
Yeah. And
based on the reviews that person has told you this restaurant is amazing. You remember, that person's taste buds are different than yours. So when you go to that restaurant and you don't get the same experience from the same meal that this person had, don't be shocked. But would you go back to that same restaurant? No, you just keep it moving. That restaurant wasn't for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's comedy. Like, if someone told you I was super hilarious, and you thought, you know what, I will pay $25 to hear him talk.
To check it out.
And it turns out that you didn't like what I was talking about, just don't come back.
Yeah. Your taste buds are different.
I am not going to eat wholemeal bread if I had a bad experience with it.
Oh yeah, facts. I get that.
I would try it.
Yeah.
If I didn't like it, I won't try it again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that simple.
Yeah. Now, what's coming up next for you? Like, are there any new projects that are coming with entertainment? What's coming next? I want to hear it all.
We're always working, man. Always working.
Yeah.
So we got a line of merch coming out right now.
Oh, merch!
Yeah, we got some merch.
I love that.
Yeah, so we've been having the emo air fresheners, the car air fresheners with my black face on it.
Really?
Yeah.
I want one.
I love those ones especially because I get people all over Perth.
Yeah.
Tag me in like posts and stuff. They'll be like, man, guess where I saw your air freshener? I was at Burgoon Shops and I parked next to a car and your air freshener was in this car. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, all the way in Burgoon, right?
Wow.
Yeah, so there'll be like people will be like, people will tag me and they'll be like at Bunnings or something and my air freshener is, my car air freshener is there.
Yeah.
And, so that's super sick. We got a couple things coming out with the emo t-shirts as well.
I love that.
Which is the face that's on the air fresheners, but just on here is quite subtle, so you can wear it for like to go work out at the gym if you want.
Yeah.
You can put it under your suit. You can just wear it as a t-shirt.
Yeah.
As a summer shirt. You can wear it to your Sunday sesh. You can wear it to go break up with your girlfriend. Just say he told me to.
He told me to wear it.
And then we got I can drop it right now actually because we just placed the order this morning.
Yeah.
So we got the emo face mask coming out.
Oh.
So it's just a standard black face mask with just emo written. It's just very subtle.
Yeah.
And then just right at the front of the mask it says help.
Help me.
Which is a callback to my name joke. So so there's that one, and then this is the straw that breaks the camel's back.
Yeah.
We just ordered emo glow in the dark condoms. So, packs of 3.
Oh Jesus! Oh Jesus!
So we got a line of condoms.
I remember your joke.
Zoom. Yeah. So they coming out as well.
Oh my goodness! So, I can't believe it.
So they'll find me in Melbourne when I get there. So we ordered them today and sent them over to the residence that we're staying at. So.
Oh my God! I can't believe you went ahead.
Oh, for sure. Like you gotta throw everything at the wall and hope it's sticks.
Oh, you're funny. I can't. Tell me about Black Santa. What's Black Santa about?
Black Santa is so when we first got to Australia.
Yeah.
Like I remember because I came as an 8-year-old. When we go back to school after Christmas break, all the kids would talk about how they had this mystical man that broke in their house and he left them gifts. And they would always ask me, didn't you have the same guy back home in Africa as well? And we kind of did, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
But when white people in red suits broke into our houses, our country, like they didn't leave any gifts.
I'm sorry.
The British redcoats, we call them. Matter of fact, they took souvenirs. They took a lot. But it wasn't
just nothing.
Yeah, it wasn't just about Santa. I mean, it's about we never had nothing to look forward to. Like Christmas, they had Santa Claus, so kids would look forward to that.
Yeah.
Every single superhero that you'd watch Spider-Man, he was white.
Yeah.
Even when he had that black costume on, there was still a white man.
Still white underneath it.
You open his credit report's amazing.
Yeah.
Superman was white. Batman wore black, but he was white.
Yeah.
We just never had anyone to look at and identify as something that represented us. So Black Santa is just my play on white mystical folklores that white people have, but that we can kind of identify with. You know what I mean? Like it's my story, my rules. You know what I mean? Like
I love that.
I can't make him white if it's in my shoes. You know what I mean?
I love that.
Yeah.
Now, where can people find you on social media if they want to keep up with what's going on?
Oh man, you can find me everywhere. You can find me on Instagram on emo_88. On Facebook, it's Emmanuel Majuk, my government name. That's EMMANUEL. Last name MAJOK. Or you can just simply find all of those social medias on my website, which is emothecomedian.com.
Lovely. I love that, and I'm gonna make sure I put all the details as well, just in case anybody missed it. But thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I am inspired just listening to you and just seeing your journey, and you're going high.
Thank you.
No one else but high, so I'm just very grateful.
It's my absolute pleasure being here today as well. Definitely look her up as well. You can find her on her page. Yeah, it was an absolute pleasure being on your pod.
Oh, thank you so much,
No,
EMO.
thank you.
Now, guys, please make sure you follow up with him and support all his shows and go to the shows and enjoy and have fun and laugh and be free. So thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, bye.
Peace.